Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning in Grand Island, where a woman is in jail after 2 children and multiple pets were removed from what authorities say were unlivable conditions. 48-year-old Kimberly Martinez was arrested on Monday. Police say they were initially investigating an assault case from last week after a person showed up to GIPD saying they'd been hit with a pry bar and broom handles. Well, authorities say when they arrived at Martinez's home, it was deemed unlivable, infested with cockroaches, animal waste, and garbage. 2 kids have been placed in the custody of the state. 19 cats were also removed from the home and sent to the Central Nebraska Humane Society. Now, Martinez was released on bond ahead of her first court appearance next month. The biggest private company in the United States shrinking its workforce. Cargill has announced plans to lay off 5% of its employees worldwide. The Minnesota-based company helps distribute meats, grain, and other farm products globally. Made huge profits during and after the pandemic because of rising inflation. But grocery prices are falling, and there's fewer U.S. cattle. Cargill says that's hurting its bottom line. Cargill has 7 locations in Nebraska. No word on how any of those facilities might be affected. A new report says Nebraska does not currently have enough resources to keep kids in the foster care system in the state. The report released by the Foster Care Office found a 30% jump in the number of Nebraska kids placed into foster care year over year. According to the report, as of the end of September, over 80% of the more than 4,000 foster kids in out-of-home care were in the custody of DHHS. Those kids are basically in limbo, waiting for homes at local housing centers that partner with the state. The review office says 16 foster kids in state custody had to be moved out of Nebraska because of a lack of space.
Kids should be served in their local community where they will be as adults. And there's one key ingredient to make that possible, and that is foster parents. Because if a child can't be at home, the best place for them to be is with a family.
It's an issue that those with insight into the system say requires many solutions, but the most obvious one is more Nebraska families stepping up to foster more Nebraska kids. A new program allows Hastings police to live stream video during a 911 call if they're given permission to do so. People in distress can now call, text, and live stream video when calling 911 in Hastings. That allows dispatchers to see and hear what's happening in real time. Anyone calling does need to give the 911 center full permission for video. It's voluntary. Anyone who doesn't speak English can text in their native language, and the technology will translate for the dispatcher taking the call to help in a timely manner. Nebraska's election results are now officially official. The State Board of Canvassers, made up of Governor Jim Pillen, Secretary of State Bob Evnen, Attorney General Mike Hilger, State Treasurer Tom Breezy, and State Auditor Mike Foley, officially certified the election results Monday afternoon at the state capitol. The board's report included just 3 recorded problems: an error on Dawson County's Public Power District ballot during early voting, a missing State Board of Education district race on ballots in Johnson County, and an unopposed Natural Resources district race that was left off ballots in Gage County. The board determined none of those issues would have impacted the outcomes. The state of Nebraska rolling out changes that could mean you could skip a trip to the DMV. The Nebraska Department of Motor Vehicles expanding its online services. Nebraskans can now use the website to renew their registration when they move within the state. You can now also renew your registration and get specialty plates if you've previously requested them online. Another time saver, you can now renew multiple registrations in a single transaction if they expire in the same month. Animals at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo will be getting advanced medical care thanks to the construction of a new veterinary hospital. The Bill and Bernice Grucock Animal Hospital is a 32,000 square foot facility that will be located on the northeast side of the zoo's property and feature upgraded medical technology and species-specific care spaces. Zoo officials say this facility will be training the next generation of veterinary leaders.
This veterinary hospital is going to advance the care that we provide to them. It's going to provide also training grounds for the next generation of scientists, veterinary scientists, and the specialists that are going to be practicing high-level wildlife medicine, ultimately for the conservation of endangered species.
The new animal hospital will replace the zoo's nearly 30-year-old facility and provide care for the zoo's more than 39,000 animals. The hospital will house essential medical areas, intensive care unit rooms, an animal diet kitchen, among other amenities. The project's funded privately. The Zoo Foundation says they're working to raise the remaining $5 million to reach their $45 million goal. The hospital itself expected to open in 2026. Well, it's been a little over 2 months since the Jocelyn Art Museum reopened to the public in Omaha. Ana Ruth Lugo Mejia gives us a glimpse of what visitors can now enjoy.
The Jocelyn Art Museum has opened again after a 2-year construction and a renovation period. Marketing Director Amy Romo says the public response to the 42,000 square foot addition to the museum has been incredible.
We've welcomed over 65,000 visitors in just 2 months from over 30 nations outside of the United States and all 50 states. So it's been really incredible to see people back in the museum.
The museum depicts 5,000 years of human creativity in art across 3 buildings. It includes 100 new works in the collection, 3 exhibitions, and a new building. In an effort to reach out to the Hispanic community, maps and materials are now available in Spanish and English.
Yes, we're making significant efforts through Access for All funding to make sure that we are welcoming our Spanish-speaking community members.
Ramos says museum officials plan to add more programming in Spanish, as she feels Hispanic people are an important part of the local art community.
The museum should be a place that you can feel welcome to come and relax. You don't need to have a special occasion necessarily.
General admission is free Tuesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The museum is open until 8 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. In Omaha, Ana Ruth Lugo Mejia, New Channel, Nebraska.
From kids to cranes, even airplanes, Sculpture Walk Railside has plenty to see. It's one of 6 outstate locations across Nebraska where taking a stroll through downtown Grand Island allows to see all the sights. The Railside District houses numerous sculptures, and anyone who wishes to see and learn more about the artist or their vision can do so with their phone.
We use AutoCast, and it is an app that people can download, and it will have audio messages from each of the artists about their art. It will also acknowledge the sponsors of the program, and it can move you through the sculpture walk. So if you start at one point, you can see where all the sculptures are, and as you walk by an area where there is a sculpture, your app will indicate to you that you are near one.
Grand Island was the state's 2nd city to be a member of Sculpture Walk Across Nebraska. It's an art initiative that selects 53 pieces to be displayed around the state. Railside welcomes 13 new sculptures this April, replacing the ones currently on display, unless, of course, someone decides to make a purchase.
We always hope to be able to sell a piece because we get a 25% commission for every piece that is sold. So that goes right back into the community to bring in art the next year. So it really is helpful in keeping Sculpture Walk Railside a viable and sustainable program.
And finally, a Valentine teen is being honored for his potentially life-saving actions. Casey Wannenberg takes us to an award ceremony where this young hero was recognized.
Casey Miller thought he came to the Cherry County Courthouse to help his mom pack up her office. His mom recently resigned as Valentine's police chief.
I just got told here to be at 2, so I was here at 2.
Well, Mr. Casey Miller,
But little did he know,
awesome as he is,
the real reason was to surprise him with an award.
he stepped up and did some amazing life-saving skills.
The American Heart Association recognized the 19-year-old with the Heart Saver Hero Award for performing CPR during a life or death situation.
Very well deserved. This isn't the first time he's stepped up And he's very calm, cool, collected. He's focused, and we couldn't have probably done what we did without him there.
Did you catch that?
This isn't the first time he's stepped up.
In fact, he's been in the right place at the right time 3 times.
It's neat to see young people willing to run into the fire rather than away and taking action and trying to make a difference. And it's really cool when it's your own kid.
Casey's mom, Dana Miller, has worked in law enforcement and volunteered with the ambulance for nearly 3 decades.
And as the kids grew up, we have 4 children, they were voluntold to help with training scenarios and different things at the police department as well as at the ambulance. So they've been immersed in it from ground zero.
Calm, cool, and collected.
But instead of focusing on his award, Casey hopes to inspire others to learn life-saving skills.
If there's classes for CPR, take them. Most of the time they're free, and you can save somebody's life with it.
I know Mom and Dad are proud. We are also very proud.
Life-saving skills that can make all the difference. In Valentine, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.